Why, fire burn them drugs. Yo, I not DP Records is not lie. Hey, Rasta see it practically, and then me want the proper color. Like everybody popping Molly, then it's bare folly going on in the alley. Rasta see it actually, and then me want the proper color. And them would rather pop a Molly than it's bare folly going on. For sheer spliff nowadays I just can't bother, cause some in only rolling up the weed with grabber. Now is all kinds of other things they're putting inside, talking about it make them bother. So there's no love for them one another, and there's no enough for them mama and them dada. Who in sniffing them a swallow. I not just now follow past me chalwa. Rasta see it practically, and then me want the proper color. Like everybody popping Molly, then it's bare folly going on in the alley. Rasta see it actually, them don't support the ganja rally, and them would rather pop a Molly than it's somebody gonna murder. If it's not Molly, then the sugar and the eggs. White rum, cocaine and cigarettes. Sprite with cough, syrup and Xanax. It's only Jano with them coming with necks. I know in mashing up the youth them head. Them excited when I trigger figure press. Said them want see inside of somebody flesh. Them like when people dead. Why? Rasta see it practically. Then me want the proper color. Like everybody popping Molly, then it's bare folly going on in the alley. Rasta see it actually, them don't support the ganja rally, and them would rather pop a Molly than it's bare folly going on. Enough youths get caught in the web, but this time youth you need to reflect on yourself and show some respect. Your parents' teachings don't forget. Mindful of the friends you select, but influence that get the check. Anytime, anywhere it get the check, you know we step it get recheck. Hey, Rasta see it practically, and then me want the proper color. Everybody popping Molly, then it's bare folly going on in the alley. Rasta see it actually, them don't support the ganja rally, and them would rather pop a Molly than yeah, somebody gonna murder. Rasta see it practically, and them me want the color. Everybody popping Molly, then it's bare folly going on in the alley. Rasta see it actually, and then me want the color. Like everybody popping Molly, then it's bare robbery and murder.
Good afternoon, good morning, good night, good evening, wherever you're at locally. You're in tune to the Rush, Guyana's industry show. I am the Afropolitan, that's Malachi, Malachi, and my co-host, Martain, Al-Ameen. You know how we do across the spectrum. Today's Monday, Motivational Mondays made for the champions. Good morning to you, Martain. What's up?
Greetings, brother, greetings.
Yeah, man, greetings to all the listeners. Hope you had a great weekend. If you had to rest, you had to rest. For those people who had a really productive, hectic weekend, working weekend, shout out to you as well. Hope you're having a great day, good afternoon, or morning like it is. If you're driving, do take it easy. Look out for those not looking out for you. And lots of school children still heading to school. It's early in the capital city, Georgetown. Of course, we got a lot more music and more vibe. That was some brand new music from the artist Al-Ameen with Practically. We're going to drop that one again. Stay glued to the Rush. We got a lot of great music today, Monday. That's going to motivate you.
Why, fire burn them drugs. Yo, I not DP Records is not lie. Hey, Rasta see it practically, and then me want the proper color. Like everybody popping Molly Dennis, bare folly going on in the alley. Rasta seat actually, and then me want the proper color. And them would rather pop a Molly Dennis, bare folly going on. For sheer spliff nowadays I just can't bother, cause some in only rolling up the weed with grabber. Now is all kinds of other things they're putting inside, talking about it make them bother. So there's no love for them one another, and there's no enough for them mama and them dada. Who in sniffing them a swallow? I not just now follow past me chalwa. Rasta seed practically, and then they want the proper color. Like everybody popping Molly Dennis, bare folly going on in the alley. Rasta seed actually, them don't support the ganja rally, and them would rather pop a Molly Dennis. Somebody gonna murder. Hey. If it's not Molly, then the sugar and the eggs. White rum, cocaine and cigarettes. Sprite with cough, syrup and eggs. It's only Jano with them coming with necks. I know in mashing up the youths them head. Them excited when I trigger figure press. Say them want see inside of somebody flesh. Them like when people dead. Why? Rasta seed practically, then me want the proper color. Like everybody popping Molly Dennis, bare folly going on in the alley. Rasta seed actually, them don't support the ganja rally, and them would rather pop a Molly Dennis, bare folly going on. Enough youths get caught in the web, but this time you need to reflect on yourself and show some respect. Your parents' teachings, don't forget. Mindful of the friends you select, but influence that get the check. Anytime, anywhere it get the check, you know we step it, get recheck. Hey, Rasta seed practically, and then me want the proper color. Everybody popping Molly Dennis, bare folly going on in the alley. Rasta seed actually, them don't support the ganja rally, and them would rather pop a Molly than yeah, somebody gonna murder. Rasta seed practically, and them me want the color. Everybody popping Molly Dennis, bare folly going on in the alley. Rasta seed actually, and then me want the color. Like everybody popping Molly Dennis, bare robbery and murder. Majesty, Archangel, fire princess. Me said the fire of the blaze. Man take offense and them say can't be too dread nowadays. I and I no fear dirty Bobby wrong. See them and them evil us ways. Them corrupted depart from his majesty. Highly I Selassie I we pray. Now Rastaman policy is peace and love. So burn out the enmity, the hate and the grudge because the vendors of the faith don't budge. Because we're born as the warriors of flames and blood. We not go dwell up with the scanners and pigs in mud. Cause anything not right, it get an instant run. Some wolf are coming like a sheep play clown. Don't think like you're wise like the great Solomon. This let the fire of the blaze. Woman take offense and them say can't be too dread nowadays. I and I no fear dirty Bobby wrong. See them and them evil us ways. Them corrupted depart from his majesty. Highly I Selassie I we pray. Now just weights and balance. When the earth return to naturality, why man to man is so unjust a pedigree. As it was, you know it never shall be. Hey, Just weights and balance. Judgment I go get you, Mr. Wickedy. In a nuclear, no fear technology. Man to woman, a life energy. Hey. They said the fire of the blaze. Man take offense and them say, can't be too dread nowadays. I and I no fear dirty Bobby wrong. See them and them evilous ways. Them corrupted depart from his majesty. Highly I Selassie I we pray. Now let me know. Overall, it's hard to be yourself beyond the wall. Cause nowadays no rasta preaching Paul. That's why them fire on a stall. Liberty is on a string that's summer ball. I thought them was a real but that's a fall. Like them not yes Selassie call. Them sit down in a bar with alcohol. Them choose to stoop to conquer, that's a call. Them quick to sell out like a stall. You look the part but really you're a fraud. Don't call yourself a liar, you're a frog. They said the fire of the blaze. Man take offense and them say, can't be too dread nowadays. I and I no fear dirty Bobby wrong. See them and them evilous face. Them corrupted depart from his majesty. Highly I Selassie I we pray. Now
Mandela come to teach that. Yes, I come to teach that. I stand permanent. I stand confident. Know my judgment in the way of life. Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. In this your life, Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. He teach me how to survive, and Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. In this your life, and Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. Teach me how to survive. Him say, son, fret not thyself of those evildoers. Hold the strength and keep the powers and left the strong drinks. Don't be a coward. Embrace the mystical powers that the Almighty gave you. Mine is to revelate and teach all nation about this creation. On the Vatican for hiding the truth from the nation. Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. In this your life, Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. He teach me how to survive, and Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. In this your life, and Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. Teach me how to survive. Hate by many, like by some. Jah strengthen I with enough wisdom. Protect my soul. I him wear the crown. Selassie come to teach everyone. Him say, hold the faith, stand your ground, know yourself, you're my son. In this your time can't get caught up in Babylon. You fi know where you're going, you fi know where you're coming, where you're going, where you're from. Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. In this your life, Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. He teach me how to survive, Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. In this your life, Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. Teach me how to survive. Him say, son, fret not thyself of those evildoers and hold the strength and keep the powers and left the strong drinks. Don't be a coward. Embrace the mystical powers that the Almighty gave you. Mine is to revelate and teach our nation about this creation. On the Vatican for hiding the truth from the nation. Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. In this your life, Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. survive. Jaja give me strength. Oh yeah. In a this your life, Jaja give me strength. Oh yeah. Teach me how to survive.
Just about 15 minutes after the hour, back with you in the Rush, Guyana's industry show. That was the voice of Mandela with Jaja Give Me Strength. Before that was Archangel featuring artists out of Trinidad and Tobago, and of course, Al-Ameen with Practically. If you're wondering what the weather is going to be like in Atlanta, Georgia for today, it's going to be cloudy today in Atlanta. Temperature is going to be at 19 degrees Celsius. Precipitations at 0%, humidity 92%, and wind at 10 kilometers an hour. In the Big Apple, New York City, it's going to be cloudy skies as well. Temperature is going to be at 11 degrees Celsius. Precipitation is going to be at 0%, humidity 94%, and wind at 16 kilometers an hour. That's in the Big Apple, New York City. In Antigua and Barbuda, it's going to be partly cloudy skies today. Temperature is going to be at 26 degrees Celsius. Precipitation 15%, humidity 76%, and wind gusting at 32 kilometers an hour. That's in Antigua and Barbuda. In Guyana, it's going to be mostly cloudy skies as well. Temperature is going to be at 27 degrees Celsius. Precipitation is going to be at 5%, humidity 84%, and wind at 14 kilometers an hour. That's in Guyana, South America. In Canada, it's going to be mostly cloudy as well. Temperature is going to be at 8 degrees Celsius. Precipitation 0%. Humidity is going to be at 98%, and wind gusting at 21 kilometers an hour. In London for today, it's also going to be partly cloudy. It seems the whole place is going to be partly cloudy and overcast today. Temperature is going to be at 15 degrees Celsius. Precipitation 0%. Humidity 42%, and wind is going to be mild in London today at 3 kilometers an hour. You know how we do in the rush hour? We drop that different music, different vibe from 83,000 square miles. You know, when we get back with you, we got the news headlines. And of course, in the second hour, we kick off the discussion.
Just before I step in, tell me can you take it? Just before I step in, tell me take it. No time we not go be them. When them singing, we not see them. Because them let the devil mislead them, yeah. Now far we don't see them. No time we not go be them. When them singing, we not see them. Because them should not make the devil mislead them. I just said that if we live righteous, we are chanting them full of righteous. Remember sins, they never like us, so in everything we do they spite us. Oh yeah, always just in whom I trust. We pull up on the blessing for the two-side plus. Tell me no police, me no Titus. In any second that could smite us. Hey, now far we don't need them. No time we now go be them. All when them see me don't see them. And could no make the devil mislead them. Now far we don't need them. No time we now go be them. All when them see me don't see them. And could no make the devil mislead them. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the way of the wicked man path. Just be true to yourself. Come from the heart. No make your heart. Where is your strength, Mr. Wicked Man? Like if you the length, we never change your plan. You say not you like it as much. But how you are gonna get crushed? So now far we don't be there. No time we now go be there. All when them see me don't see them. Cause they make the devil mislead them. Now far we don't be them. No time we now go be them. All when them see me don't see them. Fireball, say. Mama say, we feel obey the voice. They already pay crucify the Christ. Judge of each other, the dice for the wise. Yeah, I will always keep away from them. Judge yourself and keep away from them. And they use them come for them pay. Run them, shut mouth, you want to bomb and gun them. Yeah, no problem, no feed them. No time, we not go feed them. All when them see me no see them. Because they make the devil mislead them. No power, no feed them. No time, we not go feed them. All when them see me no see them. Because they make the devil mislead them. God just said that if we live righteous, true we are turn the devil and fight us. And ever since, they never like us. So in everything we do, despite us. Hey, always that in who might us. Look at the blessing on the two side plus. So we can man tell me who you are try crush. In any second that could smite us. So listen up. Now far we don't need them. No time we now go feed them.
Whoa, 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 na na na. Whoa, whoa.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want him.
Whoa, 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 na na na. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Whoa, whoa, no. Timing is everything, and everything in its own timing, yeah. Rastafari is everything, words on power, manifesting, law. Timing is everything, and everything in its own timing, yeah. Rastafari is everything, words on power, manifesting, law. Now is the time for you to wake up and live, yeah. Love is the only way, so wake up and live. Joy and happiness is all that I bring. Words of hope and inspiration I sing. Timing is everything, and everything in its own timing, yeah. Rastafari is everything, words of power manifesting, Lord. Timing is everything, and everything in its own timing, yeah. Rastafari is everything, words of power manifesting, yeah. I saw him wash his servant's feet, wake unconscious mind and defeat, one glorious intention and seat, head of parliamental deceit, hey, be mislead and manipulate. Them propagate weed and I spread it, plant a seed and graduate, smoke the weed and meditate, Lord. Timing is everything, everything in its own timing, yeah. Rastafari is everything, words on power manifesting, Lord. Timing is everything, and everything in its own timing, oh. Rastafari is everything, words on power manifesting, Lord. Them doctrine and them dogmas disqualify I. Highly I Selassie, I never deny I. Without beginning and no ending, you see the youth them multiply, yeah. Make sure you give them knowledge of the mystery and them culture. I'll get full and a popular in pop culture. Tell me have to tell them about them roots and culture. Defend the faith against culture. Pop culture breed and duplicate. Them want money so them fabricate. Hollywood feed them lies and delusions illuminate. I live to last year, I defend the faith. Timing is everything, and everything in its own timing, yeah. Rastafari is everything, words on power manifesting, yeah. Timing is everything, and everything in its own timing, oh. Rastafari is everything, words on power manifesting, Lord, hey. Timing is everything, and everything in its own timing, yeah. Rastafari is everything, Want some power, manifesting, yeah. Rastafari. Yeah, man, just more life and more love, you know? Yeah, man.
Yep, that's the voice of the Archangel coming in there. 25 minutes after the hour. You know, we got to get into some news headlines for today, Monday, Motivational Monday. And it says 13 Kukwani residents obtained land titles. 13 residents from Kukwani in Region 10 are now legal landowners after receiving their certificates of title last Friday. The distribution of title targeted persons from Portville, Chiney Lane, Park Housing Scheme, and others. President Ali is committed to securing land titles for Ogle Mandir, says religious institutions are crucial partners in national development. On Saturday, joined devotees at the Ogle Sananta Mandir Shabbat in observance of Nivitra, an annual Hindu festival. And finally, new automated speed ticketing system to be introduced on April 7th, 2025. Government rolls out cutting-edge technology to reduce speeding. The government of Guyana is launching an automated speed ticketing system effective Monday, April the 7th, 2025. This state-of-the-art system, powered by advanced speed cameras and radar speed signs connected to cloud-based infrastructure, will detect and ticket speeding violators. Those are a few of the news headlines from the DPI, the Government Information Service, for today, Monday. You know how we do. On a Monday, we motivate you. Yes, Martin, of course, we got to give you our motivational quote for today.
All right. So the quote of the day reads, "Be true to your work, your word, and your friend." I'll read that again. Be true to your work, your word, and your friend. Now, we know every now and then, right?
Yeah.
Everybody you have to deal with. You just got to deal with whoever you got to deal with, right?
Yeah.
Whether it be your friendship, whether it be within your workspace, and of course, the matter of what you say and how you say it, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's pretty much saying, no matter what, be true to your work. I think, at least for me, that is most important, right? Be true to your word. That would come as number one. Because if your word is not bond, then what else is?
Right.
Excitement. And be true to your friend. That within itself, speaks for itself. All right?
Yep. Well,
that's the quote of the day.
Quote of the day. So gotta stay glued to the rush. You know how we do. We got a lot more music in store. And of course, we're gonna come back with some discussion a little later on. Don't touch that dial. Stay glued to the station with the real vibration.
Yeah. 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 Promise, I say yeah. Walk away if you want to. Can even run if you want to. You can't run from your heart yet. And you can't talk what you want to. And you can't do what you want to do. You can't run away from yourself. Yeah. Jah help me to deliver now. The lightning in the words when me yaki ya know. To the small and the bigger now. Tell me what them figure now. I see them balling for peace, but not justice. Snacky, you know truth is, it's no fun again. Easy cash, blood money, it a run again. Pay gunman down tongue again. Trigger happy cowboy. The West can't be one again. I want to some of them. Walk away if you want, yeah. Can even run if you want. Hey, you can't run from your heart, yeah. And I mean, say, you can talk what you want to. Ooh, do just what you want to do. You can't run away from yourself. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Rastafari on the hill again. With me children, planting the food, cause just said the selfie till again. Times hard, but youths, you have to chill again. Can't go bother with the crime, gun violence, and blood spill again. I know you can't afford to bring it in. Now why is your guns to the killer them? Another body drop down still again. It's a better future, me I will them roll. So me say, walk away if you want, yeah. Run away if you want, yeah. You can't run from your heart, yeah. And you can talk what you want to, yeah. Do just what you wanna do, yeah. You can't run away from yourself. Jah help I to deliver now. The lightning into the words when me tacky, you know. To the small and the bigger now. Tell me what them figure now. I see them crying for peace, but not justice. Snaggy, you know, truth is it's no fun again. Yeah. Blood money, it a yes, run again. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ooh, oh. Walk away if you want, yeah. And you can even run if you want. You can't run from your eye. And you can talk what you want to, yeah. Do just what you wanna do. You can't run away from yourself. Rasta man, me day up on the hill again. With me children, planting the food, cause just said the selfie till again. Times hard, but we fit chill again. No bother with the gun crime, blood spill again. I know you can't afford to bring it in now. Why is your guns to the killer them? Yeah. Promise I talk it, man. You don't know the thing said. Rastafari live. Rastafari.
Truth crushed earth shall rise again. No lie can live forever. Cause the moral arm of the universe is long and it bends towards justice.
Afraid of the truth, it will beat you. If you don't stand for the truth, you will die. If you're afraid of the truth, it will beat you. Oh yes. If you don't stand for the truth, you will die. Fighting single-handed with the music. Roots rebel music, breaking the chains, setting captives free. And like a rock of Gibraltar, I man will never falter. Once Jah is with I fear no guy. Come on, a real revolutionary, real revolutionary. Yes, man, a real revolutionary, real revolutionary, real revolutionary in your army.
was blinded from the truth. Reframe the Bible so I and I look like the brute. But time has come, eyes are opened, truth revealed, Yahweh spoken. So stand up for your rights, no make heed and prosper. Just be a real revolutionary, revolutionary, real revolutionary in your army. Come on, a real revolutionary, revolutionary, real revolutionary in your army. Oh, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, yes. Oh God, I know. Oh God, I know we're nothing without you. And that's why the world can't save if Israel not gather, no. Can't save if Israel not gather, no. Yahshua's done his work, now it's our time. Miss said the world can't save if Israel not gather, no. Can't save if Israel not gather, no. So what you say? Are you ready? Yes, to be a real revolutionary, revolutionary, revolutionary in your army. No boy can swallow it. Say man a real revolutionary, revolutionary, revolutionary in your army. Say man a real revolutionary, revolutionary, revolutionary in your army. No boy can swallow it. Yes, man a real revolutionary.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He lead me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff shall comfort me. Thou prepared the table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointed my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. Holy I can tell you about the pains I feel. Only I can tell you about the life I live. Only I can tell you about the pains I feel. Only I can tell you about the life I live. From the day I was born, I never had a happy one. But now the Almighty bless me with my first son. All the walk I've been walking, yet I never run. Him give me the voice, yeah, to do his works. Believe in yourself and in the Most High God. Him guide and protect me on this road I tread. I'm more life, I don't wanna be no fallen soldier. Angel, come over and sing. Holy I can tell you about the pains I feel. Only I can tell you about the life I live. Only I can tell you about the pains I feel. Only I can tell you about the life I live. I'm from a place while growing up we never had much. A place where they get to youth of the rubber grip clutch. Yeah, if you watch your step or you can get your face bust. Ask God for guidance, yeah. Though things may rough, there will be better days. And if you're wicked, change your dirty ways, yeah. I can tell you about the Most High, and the Most High can tell you about me. Holy I can tell you about the pains I feel. Only I can tell you about the life I live. Only I can tell you about the pains I feel. Only I can tell you you about the life I live. From the day I was born, I never had a happy one. But now the Almighty bless me with my first son. All the walk I've been walking, yet I never run. Him give me the voice, yeah, to do his works. Believe in yourself and in the most high God. Him guide and protect me on this road I tread. I'm more life, I don't wanna be no fallen soldier. Angel, come over and sing. Holy I can tell you about the pains I feel. Holy I can tell you about the life I live. Holy I can tell you about the pains I feel. Holy I can tell you about the life I live. Holy I can tell you about the pains I feel. Only I can tell you about the life I live. Only I can tell you about the pains I feel. Only I
Boys and niggas there with Only Jah. And of course, Promise No Promise with some great music, great vibe right here in the Rush Guyana's Industry Show. We got to get into a little bit of today's discussion before we get into the second hour. A lot has been going on over the weekend. You know, there's been proposed that, there should be a new presidential candidate, along with, of course, the controversial story of the quote unquote activist uh, being arrested. And to this point, has not been able to, somehow, we don't know what's going on in terms of the bail situation. Um, it's looking, as though something isn't right. Because if we saw on social media that 38,000 plus odd dollars was raised for, in support of the activists, why $7,500 wasn't paid for her bail?
Well, from my knowledge, those platforms that you use to collect funds don't pay out the funds right away.
Mm,
So you have to wait about 2 weeks to receive your capital. And that would be just in case something happened and the company have to reimburse all the donors their money. They have
mhm.
that money there to reimburse it.
Yeah, yeah,
So let's
yeah.
say we got 10 people going to make a report and report in the donation page and platform. Then
Hmm.
the company would do an investigation and then reimburse the individuals their money.
Yeah,
So from my bit of knowledge, I think that is what's happening. But I
so it's like a secondary insurance policy, kind of like
yes,
on their, yeah,
yes.
on their end, to ensure that they
But
don't lose.
correct. At the end of the day, I mean, the money is there. The individuals who's supposed to be controlling the money should have had better sense to say, well, hey, let me go take a loan from somebody and, I could reimburse from this after.
Well, I don't
There's
know.
enough supporters, brother.
Hmm.
You understand? I'm pretty sure you know somebody with a business who could say, well, let me advance you this and collect it back in the back end. You
Hmm.
know, especially if you're a true supporter. If you was able to raise that much money, you should
Yeah.
have had at least one person. I'm pretty sure there's one person you could go
Well,
to.
that points to. I mean, again, if you almost raise $40,000 in such a short space of time, it would, you know, it would kind of run logically that you'd be able to get bail quickly because the
Correct.
bail is so insignificant versus what you've been able to raise. You
At
know,
this point, it's um raising another seven just to cover the bill now until they wait on that money to come in. Because
No, bro.
if you think about it, what
Uh,
if she didn't had bail, right? What would they be doing with the money then? You understand me?
uh,
Obviously, we did say legal fees and whatever the case may be.
mm-hmm.
So by at least by the time the money come in, legal fees would be able to be taken care of. But for now, I mean, and no difference. You could wait for 2 weeks, man. You could wait for 2 weeks for your money come in. It's like a job,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
you know. Take the time and learn something, right?
Yeah.
At least work on yourself, you know. For some people, being incarcerated helps them, and sometimes it makes you worse. So let's hope that with the
It
young
it,
lady
it, it,
being,
it it goes for the best.
yes, because then you have time to reflect. Now you have nothing but time to reflect, and
Yeah.
there are probably a couple of programs in there that you could actually take and advance your activism,
Well,
right?
well, I was just going to say understanding the purpose of activism and the
Hmm.
direction in which activism goes.
Well, all of that.
Yeah. Take the time to, edify
Hmm.
because it's important as, as things develop. Um, People just don't want to hear because a lot of people, if you look at now, several of the posts um, from a lot of people, you see them saying, we heard her talk about a lot of corruption, but we haven't really seen concrete evidence. And that I think is where the balance of this particular situation. I mean, with her, because at some point in time she would have to deal with the cases in Guyana. Um, that's a given.
Correct, correct.
Um, so let's see how it plays out, because that's another interesting scenario happening, and then as well we have the scenario of you know the Mohammed family with the AFC and with APNU, and then them coming out and saying that he's not running for any position at all.
Hmm. So I I kind of understand it, and obviously people can blow things out of proportion with the internet,
Hmm.
especially in this time. So there is nothing wrong with meeting a future candidate or a lawyer, right? In whichever capacity.
Yeah,
I don't think there's anything wrong. At the end of the day, as a citizen of the country, and you have rights just like everybody else,
yeah,
sanction or not,
yeah,
right? Obviously, it's politics, and everybody's gonna take whatever's happening and run with it in the worst manner.
yeah.
Because remember, it's a spirit campaign, right?
Mhm. Oh, yeah,
So I think that is exactly what is happening. Like I
yeah. But
said,
that
they could
that
have
that
discussions behind door,
you
legal
see,
wise, and so forth.
you see the problem with, and this is politics across the board because
Hmm.
it not only happens in Guyana when you go for political positions. I mean, people may think this is a strange thing, but no, it's not. I mean, if you look at American politics, if you look at the Republican guy who was slated to be, I think it was some part of the cabinet for Donald Trump, Matt Gaetz. I mean, you really have to have your record kind of squeaky clean. You can't have accusations of rape, embezzlement, and all these things that follow you. So kicking it off on that kind of foot in the political arena for me is a bad one because you can't be sanctioned by the US for failing to pay your taxes in your own country, which they could see. And then, how do you then convince the international bodies that you definitely have to work with because Guyana doesn't exist in a bubble by itself? It's got to have a bilateral, um, you know, trade and all that happening. So how does that happen with somebody under that level of sanctioning from even the international banking system. And that is what I think we need to consider as Guyanese as we move forward. And people talking about, oh, this and that about him being president and all of that. But we're going to get to that more in the second hour. Just about 10 minutes to the top of the hour. We got more music, more vibe on the rush. Don't touch it.
In the beginning was the iris, you know. And then it became the word, you know. And then it manifests after it took onto the flesh. If it do your works, you know. Spiritual word, Jah. Spiritual, physical word, Jah. It's physical, biblical word, Jah. It's biblical. Hey, no confuse, no get it twisted, y'all. Spiritual word, Jah. It's spiritual, physical word, Jah. It's physical, biblical word, Jah. It's biblical. Message to all individual. You got to practice righteousness. Only so you see your works can manifest in the flesh. It's just a clear conscience. A Rastafari will still a say, yes, I bless. Oh yes, I give him eyes. Judge and mold us in this image to be of his likeness. And yes, some have ear and still deaf, have eyes and still no sightless. Spiritual word, Jah, the spiritual, physical word, Jah, this physical, biblical word, Jah, this biblical. Hey, message to all individuals. Spiritual word, Jah, the spiritual, physical word, Jah, this physical, biblical word, Jah, this biblical. Hey, no confuse, no get it twisted, Jah. You can't hold a spiritual calm. To behold Jah in the spiritual form. Like how you see babies does born, and the most high works and perform still a carry on. Some a go hope your man fi go bomb, and I say them a summon demon. Hey, give thanks me know the real man, myself and where I belong. Spiritual word, Jah, the spiritual, physical word, Jah, this physical, biblical word, Jah, this biblical. Hey, no confuse, no get it twisted, y'all. Physical word, Jah, this physical, biblical word, Jah, this biblical, spiritual word, Jah, this spiritual. Message to all individual immoralities of your flesh. Makes your spiritual grief. You feed your lust now and later on your excuses. Yeah, the devil come deceive. Face reality, no Jah is real. I know he's the powers I feel. Use your logics when the Bible you are read. Wisdom, understanding and knowledge from Jah you will receive. This is spiritual word, Jah, the spiritual, physical word. It's physical, biblical word, Jah, it's biblical. Message to all individual, biblical word, Jah, it's biblical, physical word, Jah, it's physical, spiritual word, Jah, it's spiritual. Hey, no confuse, no get it twisted, Jah, biblical word, Jah, it's biblical, physical word, Jah, it's physical, spiritual word.
Most I Jah, you know, deliver and protect always. Right about now, we need to draw nearer and nearer to the Most High. No matter who you are, where you are. See? Yes, sir. Never get to you, strength. Yes, I know. I know Jah will deliver us. Yes, the Most High will deliver us. I know Jah will deliver us. No matter how them a fight and a fuss. Oh, I know Jah will deliver us. Yes, the Most High will deliver us. I know Jah will, even at the point I feel like giving up. Oh, the system set away. Graduate from university with student loan to pay. But the little money where we earn, I know that left me concerned. Oh, how can we survive when our basic needs are costing more than our salary? Oh, yeah. The system they create is to keep us slaving, working, building their economy. Oh, Lord. I know they don't care for the poor, but we need some open doors. Jaja, please go before. Can't take the pressure no more. Cause I know Jah will deliver us. Yes, the Most High will deliver us. I know Jah will deliver us. No matter how them a fight and a fuss. No, I know Jah will deliver us. Yes, the Most High will deliver us. I know Jah will. Even at the point I feel like giving up. Yeah, no more them can't trick us. Cause them used to give the youth them round the road big gun fi boss. The youths them wise up. I want them meds and them a rise now. Youths go on the faith. Cause I tell you I know that Jah is great. Oh, cause I know Jah will deliver us. Yes, the Most High will deliver us. I know Jah will deliver us. No matter how them a fight and a fuss. No, I know Jah will deliver us. Yes, the Most High will deliver us. I know Jah will. Even at the point I feel like giving up. Yeah, although they depress us, in order to see victory hunt your goal, no idle stuff. Get on, you just hold on. You have the strength, my brother, just press on. Keep holding on. Empress men and chant the psalms. Keep holding on. No matter the pain and them a gone. Cause we were born kings and queens. Take control, take the lead. We were born kings and queens. Take control, take the lead. We were born kings and queens. Time to take the lead. With perseverance we'll achieve. Selassie, I will give us what we need. Cause I know Jah will deliver us. Yes, the Most High will deliver us. I know Jah will deliver us. No matter how them a fight and a fuss. No, I know Jah will deliver us. Yes, the Most High will deliver us. I know Jah will. Even at the point I feel like giving up. Yeah.
Whoa, 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 yeah. We are living in a serious time. Yeah. We have me live for life with me aloe vera. Rise me cause I me no left it too now. Urge out me still better than any obia. No matter how you shouting, you still have to know ya. I'm thankful for everything, Father. You bless me food and natural spring water. I'm aware of man-made disaster. Some of all help me pass them. So me have to sing. No touch it, no trust it, no trust the vaccine. Prince and princess, black king, black queen. No trust it, no trust it, no trust the vaccine. Ugly Babylon system, not clean. No trust it, no trust it, no trust the vaccine. Church and state, them attack team. No touch it, no touch the vaccine. Thief a tell people thou shall not steal. So-called leaders, blood bleeders of the world, trying to control every boy and girl. Oh yeah, the population, on them agenda. Everybody feel surrender. Honestly, me not trust them. And me now put no stop up on me nostril. Me a say, no trust it, no trust it, no trust the vaccine. Prince and princess, black king, black queen. No trust it, no trust it, no trust the vaccine. Ugly Babylon system, not clean. No trust it, no trust it, no trust the vaccine. Them a promote lesbianism and drag queen. No trust it, no trust it, no trust the vaccine. Me tell the whole of Maxfield, me not sell myself for travel. Some gone and I tell you said them have you. Should them fly out every weekend, go on like them decent. When you check it out, them a wobble. Boy, depends on what they would encourage. If you want to know, you got to seek knowledge. Say no them keep coming. Kunta Kenta keep running. COVID on him. Some me say, no touch it, no trust it, no trust the vaccine. Prince and princess, black king, black queen. No trust it, no touch it, no trust the vaccine. Ugly Babylon system, not clean. No trust it, no touch it, no trust the vaccine. Church and state, them a top team. No trust it, no touch it, no trust the vaccine. If I tell people thou shall not steal. Me I tell you say you have to all your focus. Yeah. Oh yes, you cannot live your life bogus. Educate yourself, then step up. So you not go get wet up. Open up your mouth, them say shut up. Babylon, I step up and I take up. So not touch me, not trust it, not trust the vaccine. No. Black king, black queen, not trust it, not trust it, not trust the vaccine. Ugly Babylon system not clean. Not trust it, not trust it, not trust the vaccine. Understand what I mean? Not touch it, not touch it.
I'm in the big apple, but like the apple where I turn. Scientists, we are gone. The nature played role, man. Give me on, they said, one go on the yard, one go on the yard, one go on the yard. Tell them this, the one go on the yard, one go on the yard. Oh, I feel empty. Every day I feel like I am in the cemetery. Can't play football out the road, cars too plenty. Can't make nice about to score. Who rich or who poor, police and come knock on your door. No, I can't take it. In this your days you can't fake it. Friendship long time, yes you know you can't make it. Too much SMS around the place. You see the message but you can't see no face. Oh. La 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 la. Tell them this. La 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 la. Scientists, them not know for germinate the seed and how mankind breed them effects we get from the supply our daily need. Oxygen they can't make it, mankind life them can't fake it. Them find it how it is, so why they wonder how it a glow in the night. Next on them agenda, they catch the refugees who surrender. Them claim how them find them on them, then them find them organs gone. Them dig out the liver and them kidney. So come along and sing this song if you're with me. One go on the yard, one go on the yard, one go on the yard. Tell them this, man. The one go on the yard, one go on the yard. Oh, I don't think. Hey, you scientists, your judgment you not gonna miss. Hey, take out the man organs, sell it to the dangagans, just for a little extra dollar. Science, what is the matter? You just can't sit and sleep no way. They're wrong you like a prayer. And if you fall on the streets, they rush your body like me. Hey, la 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 la. Tell them this. La 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 la. One go on the yard, one go on the yard, one go on the yard. Tell them this. The one go on the yard, one go on the yard. Boom.
the fight when them a fight, nothing them can find. Still I see how you say I'm my time. It's the prime time, not the Rasta man to shine, yeah. Material things make you eye blind, so be careful, not this sunshine. Gotta get over this stress. My enemies, well, worries and problems has become my number one enemy. Well, gotta get over this stress. My enemies, yeah, worries and problems has become my number one enemy. Well, yeah, you may have a problem, and Jack can help you solve them. Now go look and chat no way. Even though it's pressuring, you got to hold strong. Yeah. And tell yourself you do no wrong. Yeah. Gotta get over this stress. My enemies, well, worries and problems has become my number one enemy. Gotta get over this stress. My enemies, cause I'm losing. Worries and problems has become my number one enemy. Hey, gotta get over this stress. My enemies, well, worries and problems has become my number one enemy. Gotta get over this stress. My enemies, worries and
Rastafari see it and know. Blessed is the man who walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. Let them go when that still voice transcend through the pastures. And the cloud seems like it can't stop rain. Then your life, it seems like it's a movie, but only the children, they feel the pain. So they call on your name, call on your name. So they call on your name, call on your name. So they call on your name, call on your name. So they call on your name, call on your name. Yo, people will talk things about you, find a way to live and ignore them. And when your friends desert you, you can survive without them. So why should I say I love you and turn around and let you go? Why should I say I love you? Why should I say I love you, turn around and let you go? Why should I? Why should I? Oh, teeth and tongue will make, but not necessarily bite. Oh, I tell you, children, that this is a natural fact in life. It is a natural fact in life. And when you rise, they want you to live in war and strife. But I say, live and live at the Rastafari, at the Rastafari. So they call on your name, call on your name. So they call on your name, call on your name. So they call on your name, call on your name. So they call on your name, call on your name. When that still voice transcend through the pastures, and the cloud seems like it can't stop rain, then your life, it seems like it's a movie, but only the children, they feel the pain. So they call on your name, call on your name. So they call on your name, call on your name. So they call on your name, call on your name.
for skinny scooters. Yeah. Yes, you only get you said big up themselves, yo, impress me, yo, 21, yo. Now watch that not thing when Sunday judgment go, you coming. Oh, but we tell them say, they better call on tonight.
Well, here I am now, I'm gonna stand my ground. I've come to take what's mine, ain't no backing down. Here I am now, I'm gonna stand my ground. I've come to take what's mine, ain't no backing down. They wanna be the general, bad like the general, wicked like the general, rough like the general. They wanna be the general. Which man are they? General. Which man are they? Well, him go. Well, him go up in a shanty town. Sink house where him lay down on the ground. He go asleep at night time. No electricity, buckle torch and candlelight. Moonlight could have mean a man lose him life. To survive him have to live by the gun and the knife. Even the ice pick. Boy fool himself and get involved in a politics. And now them have him caught up with them funny tricks. Give him 2 bag of gun, him share out, get the click. Them control him, but him control the whole entire district. Well, here we go again, the general, I make them bust them gun again. Beer blood I shed again, but who's gonna save the youth? Well, here I am now, I'm gonna stand my ground. I've come to take what's mine, ain't no backing down. Here I am now, I'm gonna stand my ground. I've come to take what's mine, ain't no backing down. They wanna be the bad like the wicked like the rough like the they wanna be the which man are they? Wanna be the general. What if I get to use? Living desperate and destitute, can't go to school. Cause them can't afford a khaki suit. A hot meal at night before them go to bed and sleep. So them go out a road with them big gun and go creep. Cause they got to eat. Hungry belly have to feed. Mama not the woman that they gone out go breed. It's a problem. So the youth them have to solve them. Open up your eyes and face the problem. Well, here I am now, I'm gonna stand my ground. I've come to take what's mine, ain't no backing down. Here I am now, I'm gonna stand my ground. I've come to take what's mine, ain't no backing down. They wanna see the they wanna be the general.
Mr. Bantam come again. Him and oh, nice nation to the world. Time we come out of the darkness, try step in at the light. The whole world has suffer while the leaders lost tonight. Complicate we independence, touch we freedom, take a dive. Me roll a spliff while me ease up me mining. A rubber dub style, rubber dub style, rubber dub style. Me say rubber dub style. See the youths a get wild. Him never walk a place but in the latest style. And him free to girl and them never mind them child. And them turn a blind eye when them see a pedophile. Them dangerous but one of them style. Them lost them humanity so the pity it's a one down the drain. Them give with them life so them not deserve to rot a jail. No point of fingers cause some cut a bottom fail. And no cry myself cause all the baddest dogs I lose them trail with a rubber dub style. Rubber dub style. Rubber dub style. They said rubber dub style. Say system get wild. A rubber dub style. So make the youths and them get wiser. Now rise up listen to make things better. But we still have to tighten we belt and make it even more tighter. Hungry or I get even more hungrier, and the richer get richer. How many times we say this? Naturally say it basic, now a piece around the place. I bear the seat on people's faces. Corona used to drink and now we just are killing faces. Well, leaders claim disease, and the places them only pledging the bad, them not play the real dance all. Every ghetto youth I want to be a artist criminal. Them invest in the DSS and call it federal. Now a beer gunshot on me base with the girl with a rubber dub style, rubber dub style. So the whole world gone wild, so the whole world gone wild, so the whole world gone wild. A rubber dub style, mama say, a rubber dub style. So bring back all the reggae, bring back all the reggae, bring the peace back to the place. A rubber dub style, when we used to rock to a one drop beat. I be loving at the street. Tell me if you're not see it, not loving at the places on a blaze I be eat. A rubber dub style. Say rubber dub style. Why? When I say hear a style like this, rubber dub style. It's about to come again. Rubber dub style. 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 When I say a style like this, rubber dub style.
Voice of Lisa Band, and just about 20 minutes after the hour, we're back with you in the Rush Hour Guyana's Industry Show. That was Lisa Bantan with Rubber Dub Style. Before that was Jade and Blackamoor, and of course Natural Black with Any Means Necessary. You know how we do in the Rush. It's different music, different vibe out of 83,000 square miles. Today, Monday, we motivate you with that music, and of course, to today's discussion. Yes, Martin. So we were talking about, what's happening on the ground, and this whole idea that circulating in the communities on social media about Azuddin Mohammed running for president. At least that at this point has been put to rest, because he's now stated that he is not going to be involved in terms of running for any presidential office. So, let's see where that goes, basically. But what do you think is causing so much confusion, basically, in the opposition camp? Because to me, it's a bit of confusion. They're not understanding, okay, who we're going to put as the representative. And I think that is their major issue at this point.
Well, while I cannot say what is causing the confusion, right? Because only they would know themselves.
True.
From observation, in my opinion, also, it's the lack of professionalism, right? Lack of understanding. In most cases, it's not understanding your position, as we speak on a lot of times, right?
Yeah.
For instance, Nigel is a lawyer, right? Nigel Hughes is a lawyer. He have experience of being an attorney for a number of years, no problem. Now, my concern would be how much of the people's interests does he have at the heart, right? Compared to his own. How much does he understand? Because for me personally, anybody who's fighting for candidacy have to be better than Barra Jagdeo. And that is just my truth, right?
Well, not when you say better, I want you to elaborate, because better in terms of what?
economic wise, right? Study wise, if anybody could come and have solutions to our problems, I think they deserve a listening ear,
Mm,
right?
yeah,
Not just the solutions, but if you have the method of implementing the
that's solution.
solutions,
Yeah.
you deserve a listening ear.
Hmm.
Your manifesto, that is important. We need to see that because that would kind of explain and debunk a lot of stuff, concerns especially that people may
Hmm.
have.
And
And this,
I'm not cutting you, but one of the things that I gotta say when you said manifesto,
mhm,
we haven't noticed manifestos from any of these political parties, and
correct.
two, the other aspect of this is that all you're hearing is um, we plan to, for example, give out $400,000 per month and all that kind of stuff, right? But
Hmm.
where is the planning behind all of this? Because obviously it's coming from somewhere. And if they accuse the PPP of giving out 100,000 and we got paid back in taxes and da 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 da. So if the opposition comes in and they give out $400,000 a month, how does that work?
That's what I'm saying. We need to see the economic wise, we need to know how things are going to work out.
Yeah.
You said me. Because
Are we
while I
gonna
would be
collect? Are
glad
we
for the
gonna collect it
money,
now and every cheering got work for it back?
correct. While I would be glad for the money, I need to make sure the money is being spent in the right manner.
Yep.
So when I say better, because I do believe the current administration is doing a fairly good job,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's a couple things that could tighten up, and it would be a awesome job,
Yeah.
right?
But this is
But
we here, and this is what people gotta understand. In
mm,
order for a country to develop, you always have to have the critics.
yes,
And those critics stimulate the powers that be to move in certain directions. Actually, this is what the opposition is really supposed to be doing.
correct.
But it seems as though their ability to influence the real, because I'm talking about real thinkers.
Hmm.
I'm not talking about the dunce thugs. I'm not talking about those people who just decided, okay, they want to be dependent on the government system. Because this is
Hmm.
what we see arising based on a few issues. One of the things I do think, and we've talked about it, that we do need the government to look at and strategize differently. As a matter of fact, any government that gets in, they've got to look at this issue where people believe somehow that, you know, they must have handouts, they must have monies given to them. All right.
Hmm.
One of the things that we did point out before, and we're still pointing it now out again, we're hoping that they're listening because we know they listen to this show. Do It's good to have a few cash grants, yes, that's fine, but the main focus should be on the services that Guyanese are able to access. All right,
Yep. Yep.
health, um, that will go across the board, not only for your eyes, your ears, your dental. All of those things have to be woven into what you benefit from your country. Your health is important because a stronger population, a longer living population, the longer they work. Productivity is what you're looking at, the end result. So the more healthy your population is, the more productivity you have. The more health issues you have in that population, the less productivity you have. And these are very simple things to understand because you never see sick people running a factory. All right. So they got to be healthy people. So the better you keep them healthy is the longer you have a viable working populace to go with.
Hmm.
You understand? And this is all we are pointing out. We've a lot of this money that is coming into the country, just like you're doing the infrastructural development. Do that with the health part development of the country. Do that with the healthcare sector. Do that with the legal sector. Upgrade it to the point where we don't have a set of paper all over the place. upgraded to the point where all that paper goes onto a mainframe system, a computerized system that is linked countrywide. The courts in Bartica can access the court in Georgetown. The court in Georgetown can access the court in Linden, in Berbice, so that somebody can go up to get charged. They end up in a wrong court and they give a bluff, and nobody is able to think because they can't check it right away. It's not at their fingertip. They have to wait till tomorrow when somebody maybe drive up to Berbice. Check the case, jack it there for me. Come on.
Correct.
We gotta come out of that. What is that? Since colonialism? Those are the things we talk about. This is what is, in my estimation, what is real activism.
Yeah.
Where we're dealing with real issues that affect people. We need to have proper dental and health care in Guyana for the population.
At the end of the day,
sorry, where is the opposition stance on those kind of issues, bro? Sorry, go ahead, bro.
no, I was going to continue exactly what you're saying. At the end of the day, if the opposition doesn't function in their capacity, then, we the people are left to suffer.
Yeah.
Right? Because why is it that we have to come out? I mean, obviously we're the critics, but why is it that we have to come out and tell you what your job description is? You understand? And same thing. If it's best I be president. It's best I go for the seat.
Well,
because I get more understanding than everybody else.
But the thing is about Guyana, we seem to have a syndrome going on right now where everybody believes they know and they can run Guyana. All right? I am one of those people with the belief, though, that there are people for every role.
Correct.
And based on people's track record, we can judge them on that. Now, based on the individuals who are presently running the country and their track record, it shows, okay, you do have some policies and you do have some implementations that work. And then you have those that need to be fixed. And then you have individuals who are supposed to be focusing on their particular mandate, but fail. And instead of removing them and have a cabinet shuffle, you're wasting time trying to put them in the back seat and say, "Are you man? You got to pull it together." No, in the background. No. They are supposed to know when they step up there as a minister that all eyes on you.
Yeah.
The buck stops with you. The decision making and what is the outcome on the ground is your responsibility. Who else's responsibility? Who else do we throw blame to then? Ultimately, the responsibility is at the top. So then if people out there saying, hey, these are issues, these are things we think you should look at. Because I don't think, did they carry out a census before saying, okay, let's do cash grant? Did they carry out a census and say, look, okay, let's look at it from this way. Do you think that we should invest this amount of money in and stipulate for people to get dental, eyes, versus 100,000?
Not that I know of.
Is what I'm saying. These are the things, and they're very simple. Instead of, and this is why I notice with a lot of politicians, instead of using common sense, like my mom always says to me, it's something that I always remember from her. Common sense ain't common.
I have to agree.
It's like common sense is just not common, bro. It's like how you can't look at a problem like, okay, hey, look at Guyana and see, okay, hey, if we look at the population, we have a percentage of our population beneath the poverty line. Okay, we have a growing middle class. How do we then balance that equation? To balance that equation, we improve the services to every Guyanese, whether you're poor or not.
Mm.
All right. So, in improving those services, one, the poor man could go and get the teeth looked after, the eyes looked after, everything like a middle class person, everything like a rich person. All right. And most of the times, the rich people can go and pay a private person, so they good. The middle class might do that, but they can mostly depend on the system that is providing that health care for them for free. All right. So you then, instead of having people like that guy I told you about when the cash grant was going on, he and his friend collected their checks. And then one of them decided, okay, he's going to take the both checks, hold one in each hand, and then make a post about, oh, he collect two checks, which is totally false,
Mm-hmm.
creating propaganda. But those are the kind of things it would prevent. Because when you have that injection of capital going into the healthcare and in certain aspects to that healthcare that will affect the population, nobody is saying the cash grant is a bad idea. I'm not saying that. If you have that once a year, that's cool. All right. But what we're saying is that that bulk of capital that's coming into Guyana due to the oil, we should start looking at how we improve the lives of ordinary Guyanese through healthcare, through the services that are provided through the government agencies,
Mm.
housing. You understand? Well, I know they're definitely working on the water improvement, changing the lines and all of that. Although we had a few silly people for months, oh God, the water dirty. But in the past, when all of most of Georgetown was getting their water from artesian well water, when you couldn't wash a white T-shirt because the iron oxidation in the water, it was what we call heavy water. It was ready. People thought that was rust. That wasn't rust. That was iron. And people know these things about Guyana, and they will make issues only when it suits you know, their particular political angle, which to me is really, really, really nonsensical. Because really, as any political party, you should be looking out for the interests of the people. Why do you have a political party if the interest of that political party is to look out for you as the head of that party? It makes no sense. What happened to the people who actually support these people? They have no brain whatsoever.
Well, again, it's understanding who you are, what you do, your position, right? Just like the quote said earlier, be
Mhm.
true to your work, your word, and your friend. You understand? So if they can't be true to their work, which is to be a politician, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously it's been said that that is one of the dirtiest job. So I guess they are being true to their work.
But the thing about our politicians, you notice the in at least you see the dynamic with the PPP is that the PPP has managed, although they may have or had infighting or have infighting, they've managed to keep that within and keep that to themselves. The opposition, on the other hand, has been such a bounce around in terms of what they have done, bouncing around, is that they have thrown their supporters into a tailspin because they don't understand. Okay, so um, for example, Simona Brooms is off on her own. Amanza, it seems to be in confusion with the directives of the party with Norton. Norton really has an issue with coalition with other smaller parties. It's utter confusion. The AFC doesn't have their thing together. They're still trying to iron out. They want to have 40% stake in the government if the opposition wins. they don't they have not even focused on how they're going to put forward a proper manifesto and a proposal and a campaign to show Guyanese that at least they're trying to repackage themselves from 2015. All right? They haven't done that yet, but they're worrying about who's going to be sharing 40 and 60% of governance if they win.
That's what I'm saying. They come back with the same old thing. No new methods, no new people, no new anything. So you really and truly, like I said before, have to be better than the current sitting government. I need to see because I cannot say, right? Last week I called you. So
Yeah,
I'm in Guyana and my friend took me for a drive, right? And
yeah,
he got his piece of land. We're same age, my brother, right? We grew up together.
yeah,
He got his piece of land in the Ogle area. You know that
yeah,
whole fancy aspect
yeah,
of things
yeah,
at the back
yeah,
of Sapphire, right? Where everybody
yeah.
says it's bad. No,
You cross over from North Cummingsburg there into Ogle area
yeah. So he
at the
carried
back.
me
Yeah,
show me land is.
yeah.
So while driving, now he telling me where the new highway is gonna be built, where the connection is happening, where the roundabout is being placed, what road is connecting to where and so on. And
Hmm.
I am watching in a maze, right?
Yeah.
Because now online, people saying there's no development, the government holding the money, da 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 da,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
But I personally driving around in one community, right?
Right.
So let's say between Diamond,
One
yeah,
area alone you went in.
yeah, let's say between Diamond to Sapphire, to the back of Sapphire we drove, right?
Hmm.
And notice at the back, I know for sure used to be KNF because back in this in me high school days, we
Yeah,
used to go swim by the black and them thing, right? By the
right.
cocoa. So
Yeah.
I know for sure it was KNF. Brother, today there is no key in there. It's
It's a block.
bare clear land who in done start build house, which
Hmm.
company in done step in for set up factory or whatever the case may be.
Bro. And we saw for ourselves going up to Linden, the development on the Linden Highway.
Yes.
You understand? The fact that they're shouldering it now, the fact that they're putting in the guttering area so that they're runoff for rainfall and all of that. All of
Mm.
those things people have to take into consideration are developments. The new the suspension bridge that is going to be completed shortly going over the Demerara.
That when I drive around, I feel like I am in Miami. And that is the truth.
That now is facts. They have, and then we ain't talking about Silica City.
No, I ain't even see that yet. I
Well,
talking about the turnkey houses, the development where people just get their land, right? At the back of Sapphire, what I know growing up.
yeah,
I talking about them areas compared to my time when I moved into the Sapphire area with mud, right? When I used to have to walk from the back to the front barefoot and them side of the thing, right? So driving at the back then out. So when I try to tell everybody, I say, yo, Guyanese people sleeping. But it's not their fault because they don't know. The government comes out and say, 2,000 people just get house lot, 10,000 people get house lot, 5,000 people get house lot, but we don't see it.
but where they doing it? Facebook.
Aye.
This is what we pointed out. The media. Really, we're not talking about only social media, but we're talking about the standard
Actual
media.
media
Yeah.
houses. They don't do a good job. It's I can't speak how I want to speak, right? But they don't do a good job, brother, for the country. Really and truly.
They're doing a real crappy job. They
Because
have
if I
to do that.
drive around with me two eyes on the ground and I see the electrical power plant where it's connected and connecting to the grid, and when I tell you I feel like I'm in Miami, brother,
Yeah, yeah.
it
I
is
mean,
no
you can.
different.
I mean, people can deny the development, I mean, people who listen to our show, they might say, "Oh, these guys are bashing the government, etc., etc." No, we don't bash the government. We criticize areas that we see they need to improve to help.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they, I remember when you're in a fight, and I'll describe this in a layman term. When two fighters are in a ring, right? You remember the guy or the coaches outside, they could see everything.
Correct.
They could tell you, go for the jab, the uppercut, the this, the that. All right? They're gonna be shouting commands out there because they could see outside. You when you in there, you ain't seen that. You seeing the next guy trying to knock you out.
Exactly.
You
And that
understand?
is what's happening right now, brother.
Exactly. So with the government right now, this is what I'm saying. They are looking at their strategies, and also they have the opposition to contend with, because the opposition of Guyana is not easy. They're not looking at issues. They're shouting corruption, corruption, corruption. However, could we point out a case with real evidence so that could be taken before the court? Because I think anybody could go take a case before the court.
Well, I think it's only we could actually point out the legit corruptions. But outside enough, when I move wrong and I tell me, brother, I say, hey, when the people said the money and reaching the money can't reach the people, brother. Right? Now,
Mm.
let me explain why I said that. The last year's budget was 1 trillion. This year budget is well over 1 trillion, right?
Mm.
Now, to put down the electrical power plant that I saw there, I showed that cost a lot of money. And the man said anybody could go at the back there and get work right now. Any single body,
I'm telling
especially
you.
young men, right?
Yeah.
Because they need them for come and help lifting, they need them for holding,
My
they
bro,
need them
to
with
run those
experience.
cables, to run. You see, one of the things too that is like amazing with the whole thing about, oh, they ain't got this and they ain't got that. They gotta get people, they gotta get, you know, much linesman they gotta get in Guyana right now.
Right,
GPL has to expand exponentially.
brother.
Because remember, you saw that power plant. But from the
Mm-hmm.
power plant, you know how many height. First, you gotta lay down the high tension. Then you gotta
Aye.
have the transformers breakdowns, and then you have to run the cables to houses.
Well, they got it so fancy that you ain't even like I said. You know when you drive in Miami, you don't really see no
All right, yeah, see
no
it, that
thing.
thing.
So all of them thing must be done the underground disappear.
Wrong. That's what I'm
You
telling you. I
understand?
mean, Guyana is on the go. And when people talking about this and that, no, bro. Because even countries that have nothing to do with Guyana and its political system, and they people come in, they know, hey, this is the place to be. Because this
Mm-hmm.
is where the boom is right now.
Yeah. I would
It,
advise Guyanese people, don't look forward for the money reaching you. We got at least majority of us would have gotten the grant.
mm-mm.
There's several other grants with each ministry that is available, right? In different capacities.
And this
So
is for
y'all just have to go
Guyanese.
get it, right?
Exactly. And it's for Guyanese. What they really cranking about, really.
That $1 million that everybody expect for coming to their bank, don't look for that. That guy down at the back with a house lot, a drainage system, a new
Exactly.
water station system,
Right. And
the
like you're
electrical
saying,
system, and
and
everything
like you're
else.
saying, that gotta go into people health care, people
Correct.
dental, people
There's
eyes.
at least 10 different hospitals being built right now and being open.
Exactly.
It is so much thing, brother.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's what I said. We don't have the people to support that kind of level of workforce that we actually need. But Guyanese saying, why not in Guyana and walk in there, which is total lies.
Come out the city.
Absolute
Trust me,
lies.
you come out the city, you get what?
Man, listen, you know what a lot of them want to do? And and you see this every day. For example, when and I gotta make reference to this. When that guy came from wherever he comes from, the Christmas list guy, right? And he did
Mm-hmm.
that vlog in Guyana. And he drove through, for example, All Boys Town in certain areas. And the people in the vlog said, oh, Yeah, man. If you go up every corner, you're gonna see people hanging upon the corner. Because Christmas was like, what you guys doing hanging on the corner this hour of the day? Right? And that was shocking. That was like, what? They hanging on the corner and talking about money in there and them scrape heads.
That is the level of intellect and thinking we have, brother. When I in Miami, when I first go to Miami, I worked on the
People need
beach.
lashes, bro.
Right? Well, when I go there, I work on the beach. And I used to see the people, you know, the white people to say,
Yeah.
10 o'clock, why is I going to work? They jogging. You know, they taking their morning walk and them thing. So I always think, well, what these people just do that they could afford to walk and enjoy the sun and a smoothie and them thing, why is I gotta go to work? And when I'm home, I could say, well, I could actually go out and take a walk right now. I could go out and take a run. You understand?
Yeah.
I could step out and go to work. I could choose to do what I want. And Guyanese people, instead of being on the block, they could do the same thing because they also is not homeless.
Brother,
they don't know what that means.
They have Venezuelans, Cubans, Brazilians coming into Guyana and doing 2 and 3 jobs.
I mean, come on, brother.
Right?
We holding ourselves back.
Right? We do more than 2 jobs. So, what Guyanese talking about, them ain't got nothing to do.
They got
How
way too
there
much
is nothing
action.
to do in an emerging economy? How there's nothing to do? How there's nothing to do? Or is your brain got a problem that you can't see that there's
Well,
something
that
to
is
do?
it. They would have reached that ghetto mentality cap and they can't go no way.
Well, that's a stuck in like you reach the ceiling and that's it. Well, you know, when we have this discussion, the time really flies. We're gonna get back with the discussion in the third and final hour. Don't touch that dial. Don't go nowhere. Stay glued to the stations with the real vibration. SlamFM.co.uk, Majestic Music Radio, my exclusive radio, Cut and Clear Radio, 102.3, 96.7, Triple R Radio, Studio M. You know how we do. Big shout out to Masani. What's going on, all the guys in Canada. We got more music, more vibe in a rush.
Me nah in a certain chat. Every 5 years, them boy come out, laugh and chat. Let them know say get a youth now in a that. The real thing, I be a crap, yeah. From North Georgetown to St. John's College, I come to hit the world with my musical knowledge. Tell politicians to free up the passage. Take get a youth out a cardboard cottage. Billion of them a live in a small village. Can't find milk nor sugar for the porridge. When 4-year-old face wrinkle like cabbage. We don't acknowledge mental, physical damage. Them want treat people like savage. Man beat him wife and dash out like baggage. Young girl pregnant, baby can't manage. Enough of them never eat sausage. Yeah, are the cause to this? Won't make enough head twist. Are the fault for this? You want put get a youth on the wanted list. Are the cause to this? Won't make enough man switch. Are the fault for this? You want place get a youth on the wanted list. Informer can't come chat. Man can't sit in man lap. Last bad boy get shot. So tell me why you place the roadblock. No man not deal with crack. Strictly wise man pon the block. The thing from the earth give them that. Them the want the youth to go the mill. No man can get outside. And them want chop rasta not. That's why the streets is hot. Every night they appear gunshot. Are the cause to this? Won't make enough head twist. Are the fault for this? You want put get a youth on the wanted list. Are the cause to this? Won't make enough man switch. Are the fault for this? You want place get a youth on the wanted list. Them a wonder when they see me rolling with the under. Talks on the side like soldier, investigator, informer, play hater. Wanna know how me make paper, each and every corner. Them a happy and chattier, how them know me as sufferer. I'm a go-getter, me na kill, me na smuggler. Them question you fi answer. Holla, are the cause to this? Won't make enough head twist. Are default for this, you want put get a youth on the wanted list. Are the cost to this? Will make enough man switch. Are default for this, you want place get a youth on the wanted list. Yeah, big up all the get to youth, them not the get to. Me have to beg you up all time. You know say, them man they come wrong in seasons and kill out the get to youth them for no reason. Next 5 years, then you're gonna get lights and water in your village. Right through, them a treat you like baggage. We not into that. And the real thing, a brutal shock. Yo, Devon, Ken, Christian, them man a real good man. You know I said that. Yeah, Roger, brains. We not in a second binge. We a kill them, dog with mange.
Elja in the morning, yeah, yeah, every day, yeah, yeah, yeah. Elja in the morning, before I go my way. Them have to fall, oh Lord. Wicked have to go down in a Babylon, cause them have to set the Africans free. Yeah, yeah. Crush me, see Babylon. Them corrupt, that's the way me can see. Hey, yeah. Wicked have to go down in a Babylon, cause them have to set the Africans free. Yeah, yeah. Crush me, see Babylon. With intelligence and the militancy. They don't care for me at all. Care for me at all. Mr. Babylon, they must go down. They don't care for me at all. Care for me at all. Mr. Babylon, yeah, Mr. Babylon, you must go down, yeah. We need a change, but me not talk politics, yeah. All the prejudice and malice with some other tricks, yeah. Honestly, my people cannot manage it. You, them future, you are damaged. Yeah, them of the university, of the colleges. If we put you through different challenges. Opportunity is inadequate. Expired food make your body sick. Yeah. I see the picture of the painting, and all around me is the same thing. Everyone I look one for blame king. Think it is a game thing. Hey, oh, going down slow. Wicked have to go down in a Babylon, cause them have to set the Africans free. Yeah, yeah. Crush me, see Babylon. Them corrupt, that's the way me can see. Hey, yeah. Wicked have to go down in a Babylon, cause them have to set the Africans free. Yeah, yeah. Crush me, see Babylon. With intelligence and the militancy. They don't care for me at all. Care for me at all. Mr. Babylon, they must go down. They don't care for me at all. Care for me at all. Mr. Babylon, yeah. Mr. Babylon, you must go down, yeah. It's like pot against sun, so them a melt. Tell Mr. Babylon I'm coming from my way. My people, what is it you're doing for yourself? Instead of you straighten up, you are bent. You want Mr. Babylon a friend. The mission when me depend, it don't have no end. So, me nah buy nothing with them a sell. You and your crew have to burn up in a hell.
Promise, no promises, me there representing, yeah. Mama Africa, whoa, it's calling me. Yeah. So much distance to cover. Oh, before I can see your face again. Yeah, yeah. Too long, too far, too long away. Mama Africa, all I wanna do is kiss your face again. Ooh. And I wish that I can run, come now and see you, Run, come see my sister and my uncle and my auntie. Can none of them place wrong, yes, so can be you. Mama Africa, yes, you're calling me. I'm longing for, yeah. Mama, yes, I'm dying for. Dying. And when you see me come running, yes, I'm running for. So when you see me on the road, don't ask. One thing that's in my heart, Mama Africa's love. Africa, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, big up the Yak and go straight back to Mali. From the Sahara down to Egypt, Madagascar out to sea, yeah. Penetrate from the east, Tanzania and Kenya, big up all Somalis. Africa, I wear my eyes see. But tell them, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, and a King Selassie, I am set me free. Africa is calling me. I'm longing for. Mama, yes, I'm dying for. And when you see me come running, yes, I'm running for. So when you see me on the road, don't ask. One thing that's in my heart, Mama Africa's love. So much distance to cover before I can see your face again. Too long, too far, too long away. Mama Africa, all I wanna do is kiss your face again. Ooh. I wish that I can run, come now and see you. See ya. Run, come see my sister and my uncle and my auntie. Can none of them place wrong, yes, so can be you. Yeah. Mama Africa, yes, you're calling me. I'm longing for. Girl, yeah. Mama, yes, I'm dying for. And when you see me come running, yes, I'm running for. So when you see me on the road, don't ask. One thing that's in my heart, Mama Africa's love. I'm longing for. Your love. Mama, yes, I'm dying for. Yeah. And when you see me come running, yes, I'm running for. So when you see me on the road, don't ask. One thing that's in my heart, Mama Africa's.
Why fire burn them drugs? Yo, I not DP Records is not lie. Hey, Rasta seed practically, and then me want the proper color. Like everybody popping Molly, then it's bare folly going on in the alley. Rasta seed actually, and then me want the proper color. And them would rather pop a Molly, then it's bare folly going on. For sheer spliff nowadays I just can't bother, cause some in only rolling up the weed with grabber. No, it's all kinds of other things they're putting inside, talking about it make them bother. So there's no love for them one another, and there's no enough for them mama and them dada. Who in sniffing them a swallow? I not just not follow past me chalwa. Rasta seed practically, and then me want the proper color. Like everybody popping Molly, then it's bare folly going on in the alley. Rasta seat actually. Them don't support the ganja rally. And them would rather pop a Mali than is somebody gonna murder. Hey. If it's not Mali, then the sugar and the X. White rum, cocaine and cigarettes. Sprite with cough, syrup and Xanax. It's only Jah know with them coming with next. I know in mashing up the youths them head. Them excited when a trigger figure press. Said them want see inside of somebody flesh. Them like when people dead. Why? Rasta seed practically. Them me want the proper color. Like everybody popping money, then it's barely going on in the alley. Rasta seed actually. Them don't support the ganja rally. And them would rather pop a Mali than it's barely going on. Enough youths get caught in the web. But this time youth you need to reflect on yourself and show some respect. Your parents' teachings don't forget. Mindful of the friends you select. But influence that get the check. Anytime, anywhere it get the check. You know we step it, get recheck. Hey, Rasta seed practically. And then me want the proper color. Everybody popping Mali, then it's barely going on in the alley. Rasta seed actually. Them don't support the ganja rally. And them would rather pop a Mali than yeah, somebody gonna murder. Rasta seed practically. And them me want the color. Everybody popping Mali, then it's carefully going on in the alley. Rasta seed actually. And them me want the color. Like everybody popping Mali, then it's fair robbery and murder.
Whoa, 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 na na na. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Whoa, whoa, no. Timing is everything, and everything in its own timing, yeah. Rastafari is everything. Words on power, manifesting, law. Timing is everything, and everything in its own timing, yeah. Rastafari is everything. Words of power, manifesting law. Now is the time for you to wake up and live, yeah. Love is the only way, so wake up and give. Joy and happiness is all that I bring. Words of hope and inspiration I sing. Timing is everything, and everything in its own timing, yeah. Rastafari is everything. Words of power, manifesting Lord. Timing is everything, and everything in its own timing, yeah. Rastafari is everything. Words of power, manifesting, yeah. I saw him wash his servants' feet. Wake and conscious mind and defeat. One glorious intention and seat. Head of parliamental deceit. Hey, be mislead and manipulate. Them propagate weed and a spread it. Plant a seed and graduate. Smoke the weed and meditate. Lord, timing is everything. Everything in its own timing, yeah. Rastafari is everything. Words on power, manifesting law. Timing is everything, and everything in its own timing. Oh, Rastafari is everything. Words on power, manifesting Lord. Them doctrine and them dogmas disqualify I. Highly I Selassie, I never deny I. Without beginning and no ending, you see the youth them multiply, yeah. Make sure you give them knowledge of them history and them culture. I'll get full and a popular in pop culture. Tell me have to tell them about them roots and culture. Defend the faith against culture. Pop culture breed and duplicate. Them want money so them fabricate. Hollywood feed them lies and delusions illuminate. I live to last year, I defend the faith. Timing is everything, and everything in its own time. Yeah, Rastafari is everything. Want some power, manifesting. Yeah, timing is everything, and everything in its own time. Oh, Rastafari is everything. Want some power, manifesting. Lord, hey. Timing is everything, and everything in its own time. Yeah, Rastafari is everything. Want some power, manifesting. Yeah, Rastafari. Yeah, man, majesty, more life and more love, you know. Yeah, man. Explosion. Mandela come to teach that. Yes, I come to teach that.
Truth and justice.
I stand permanent. I stand confident.
Truth and justice.
Know my judgment in the way of life. Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. In this your life, Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. He teach me how to survive, and Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. In this your life, and Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. Teach me how to survive. Him say, son, fret not thyself of those evildoers. Hold the strength and keep the powers and left the strong drinks. Don't be a coward. Embrace the mystical powers that the Almighty gave ya. Mine is to revelate and teach our nation about this creation. On the Vatican for hiding the truth from the nation. Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. In this your life, Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. He teach me how to survive, and Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. In this your life, and Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. Teach me how to survive. Hate by many like by some. Jah strengthen I with enough wisdom to take my soul. I him wear the crown. Selassie come to teach everyone. Him say, hold the faith, stand your ground, know yourself, you're my son. In this your time can't get caught up in Babylon. You fi know where you're going, you fi know where you're coming, where you're going, where you're from. Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. In this your life, Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. He teach me how to survive, Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. In this your life, Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. Teach me how to survive. Him say, son, fret not thyself of those evildoers and hold the strength and keep the powers and left the strong drinks. Don't be a coward. Embrace the mystical powers that the Almighty gave ya. Mine is to revelate and teach our nation about this creation. On the Vatican for hiding the truth from the nation. Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. In this your life, Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. He teach me how to survive, Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. In this your life, Jah give me strength. Oh yeah. Teach me how to survive.
Majesty. Archangel.
Fire princess. This said the fire of the blaze. Man take offense and them see. Can't be too dread nowadays.
I and I no fear dirty Bobby wrong. See them and them evil ways. Them corrupted depart from his majesty. Highly I Selassie, I we pray. Now,
Rastaman policy is peace and love. So burn out the enmity, the hate and the grudge. Grudge because the pendant of the faith don't budge. Because we're born as the warriors of flames and blood. We not go dwell up with the scholars and pigs in mud. Cause anything not right, it get an instant run. Fireball. Some wolf are coming like a sheep play clown. Don't think like you're wise like the great Solomon.
This let the fire of the blaze. Woman take offense and them say can't be too dread nowadays. I and I no fear dirty Bobby wrong. See them and them evil ways. Them corrupted depart from his majesty. Highly I Selassie, I we pray. Now, just weights and balance. When the earth return to naturality. Why man to man is so unjust a pedigree. As it was, you know it never shall be. Hey, just weights and balance. Judgment I go catch you, Mr. Wickedy. In a nuclear, in a fair technology. Man to woman, a life energy. Hey, they said the fire of the blaze. Man take offense and them say can't be too dread nowadays. I and I no fear dirty Bobby wrong. See them and them evil ways. Them corrupted depart from his majesty. Highly I Selassie, I we pray. Now,
overall, it's hard to be yourself beyond the wall. Cause nowadays no Rasta preaching Paul. That's why them fire on a stall. Liberty is on a string that's some Paul. I thought them was a real but that's a fall. Like them na yes a lotsy call. Them sit down in a bar with alcohol. Them choose to stoop to conquer, that's a call. Them quick to sell out like a stall. You look the part but really you're a fraud. Don't call yourself a liar, you're a frog.
They let the fire of the blaze. Man take offense and them say can't be too dread nowadays. I and I no fear dirty Bobby wrong. See them and them evil ways. Them corrupted depart from his majesty. Highly I Selassie, I we pray. Now,
just before I step in, tell me can you take it? Just before I step in, tell me take it. Hey, now power can see them. No time we now go feed them. All when them see me no see them. Because them let the devil mislead them. Yeah, now power can see them. No time we now go be them. All when them see me no see them. Cause them should not make the devil mislead them. Hey, I just said that people live righteous. We are chanting the full of righteous. Remember sins, they never like us. So in everything we do they spite us. Hey, always just in who my trust. We pull up what the blessing for the two side plus. Hey, me no olive, so me no Titus. In any second that could smite us. Hey, now far we go eat them. No time we now go beat them. All when them see me no see them. Them could no make the devil mislead them. Hey, now far we go eat them. No time we now go beat them. All when them see me no see them. Them could no make the devil mislead them. Bless the man that walketh not the way of the wicked man part. Just be true to yourself. Come Like if you delay, me never change your plan. You say not you like it as much, but how you are gonna get crushed. So, now far we go be there. No time we now go be there. All when them see me no see them. Cause them make the people mislead them. Oh yeah. Now far we go be there. No time we now go be there. All when them see me no see them. Mama said, we feel obey the voice. They already paid the price. Remember, they crucified the Christ. Judge of each other, the dice for the wise. Yeah, I will always keep away from them. Judge said, keep away from them. And they use them come for them pay. You and them, shut mouth, you want to bomb and gun them. Yeah. No probably no be them. No time we now go be them. All when them see me no see them. Because they make the devil mislead them. No probably no be them. No time we now go be them. All when them see me no see them. Because they make the devil mislead them. God just said that if we live righteous. True, we are trying the devil avoid us. I remember sins, they never like us. So in everything we do, despite us. Hey, always that in who might us. Look at the blessing on the two side plus. So we can man tell me who you are trying crush. In any second that could smite us. So listen up.
Just about 20 minutes after the hour of the third and final hour of the Rush Hour Guyana's Industry Show. You know how we do it different each and every day of the week. Today, Monday, Motivational Mondays. You know, we got to give it that music, that vibe. That was Natural Black with the track Heathen. Before that was Archangel with that artist out of Trinidad and Tobago. And of course, Mandela, Jaja, give me strength. You know how we do it different. Yes, Martin, back into today's discussion, my bro. Yes, are you hearing me, Martin?
Yes, brother, hear me?
Yes, I hear you now.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So we continue. So we left off pretty much discussing what is happening in the background, right? And so I kind of want to continue on that. That way the listeners have more of an understanding of the level of development that we're currently faced with, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I mentioned when I drive around one small area, it look and feel like I'm in Miami because I know Miami in communities when it's developing, right?
Yeah.
I've been there long enough in Florida to experience an entire gated community being developed, right?
Yeah.
From the road work aspect of the infrastructure, the drainage, the buildings, and so forth. I mean, of course, Guyana could do a couple things different, but that don't change the fact that we're doing what we know, right? And with whatever help we have on the ground.
No, but the thing is, we could only do it how we know because we got to put our own style to it. You remember that's where our architectural premise comes in. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So it makes us unique.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you look at, like in Florida, we look at a mansion can cost over $1 million. In Guyana, I look at a house and I know the house is well over $1 million. You understand me? Of course, the exchange is different, but the way we build,
the quality of the homes in Guyana is way different.
Exactly.
The fact that you even have yard space is different.
So naturally, we stand the test of time.
Yeah.
It's like, and that is what I want Guyanese to understand. I notice I know if it's a social media personnel, Fathom, would have got in her house like the other day, along
Yeah,
with
not
two
only
other
her, the other
persons.
one called Champion Joni as well. So
Well,
it's
I'm
Fat
I'm
and
not too
Champion.
familiar with her, but I know Fata. I seen Fata got hers, and she was thanking the government and so forth.
Uh,
So all of that is good. I think is the very next day somebody was working with her to donate materials, and she
yeah.
had her fence done.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I know I have said before the government should look at allocating lots in a certain way, because while areas are clean and getting ready to be clean, and the communications department is putting on their poles and their cables, the electrical is putting on their poles and cables, the water aspect is doing their drainage, road people doing the roads and so forth. We we could get to a certain place faster, because I still think that the government should say, well, hey, 5,000 people, yeah, come with your money and whatever, and develop a community for yourself.
Yeah.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
At least that will kind of help speed up things and take us further along, compared to the government taking up the bulk of the responsibility to doing everything.
Yeah.
You understand? So it should be a working framework. Even if
Yeah,
the
but
government have to come
this
and
is what we
oversee
talk about
whatever
even
the
now,
case may
where
be.
there is space in the private sector for certain things to for sector people to get involved.
Yeah, man.
So
Big time.
to say that, well, oh, nothing going on, that's what we were saying. Um, would be really disingenuous, because a lot going on.
Mm-hmm. And
It's just
I've
that
been able to
some people
see it
ain't
for
want to fit
myself
themselves.
now.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of people just don't want to fit themselves in a space. They want everything must be ready, done, and fall into their lap.
Yeah, well, I think we like the handouting too much. We've gotten so familiar with begging and handouts that
Hmm.
if we ain't get it, we know what to do.
Yeah, and that's the thing I'm afraid of. Um, that we don't fall into that kind of, the kind of stretch out your hand, the beggy kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing, because that is what everybody. Because even these people who come out on social media, and I hate to, like like knock at some of them, but you got to. They are a lot of them kind of have that mentality within, like that's their culture of
Correct.
reaching out, not doing anything really, just sitting there and wanting to talk nonsense on social media, which they have no idea. Because
Hmm.
when they talk about Guyana and the way Guyana should be run, you wondering, did you know anything about economics? I mean, and this is where, when we talk about the opposition as well, there's some of the standpoints that come from you even as a layman, you got to be wondering, did they even think about the economic situation and what needs to be done, or are they just talking out there?
And that is why I said if anybody is coming to take over, they have to come with the understanding better than what the man have currently.
Hmm.
You understand me?
Yeah.
Because I personally cannot and wouldn't listen to you if you come into me with stupidness.
Well,
If,
I haven't heard an opposition member come out and say, well, we got to look at one of our policies is, when we get in there, we want to look at, for example, the debt that we owe the IMF, break it down to show the population what we do owe the IMF still,
mm-hmm.
how we are going to change the economy, through, of course, changing the economy through the diversification of the GDP. And of course, you've heard the VP talk about diversification of the economy. Same thing I talked about a few times on our
Yes.
show. So we haven't heard those things from the opposition, but you're hearing it from the present government.
Mm-hmm.
And they have already, imagine they start campaigning already, right? They're
Mm-hmm.
campaigning already, because what they're looking to do, which is and we know this, you could see this, is unprecedented, the change that is happening within Ali's term. We obviously know Ali going back in there. You know, we know based on the statistics, based on what's happening on the ground. And I don't know why people get this impression that, oh, there's going to be some miracle and, Muhammad's is going to be in there. Well, no, we
Mm-mm.
know. We know he's not going to even run. So who are they going to look at then as really a viable opposition candidate? Because it got to be somebody who understands the economy, or else they're going to run it out wreck. It's simple,
Correct.
you know.
Well, at the end of the day, I would like to see a clean and fair election, right? I think that is most important. Outside
Which
of,
has happened for the past few years, since 1992.
we said it's been clean and fair since then.
Yep,
Well,
yep.
I can't directly say because I've never been in, paying attention to the politics aspect of things. Whoever come in, and
Mhm.
we make do with it. You understand? Now I'm a bit older. I have more understanding of what it is and what it should be. So I am paying attention because I do have children,
Mhm.
right? And I
Yep.
do love my country, so I want to make sure things are fair enough for me, even as an individual,
Mhm.
right? So I could be able to afford certain things. So I could be able to make certain moves, to be free in media and the necessary things that an individual need
Well,
is
my
what I
bro,
look forward to.
I'm glad that you say that, because one of the things that I never knew about, right? And correct me if I'm wrong here.
Hmm.
In your living in Guyana, did you know at any point in time there was a barrier on the freedom of speech?
Not directly, and so while it haven't been directly a barrier, they have
Mm.
been a cloak, I would say, on a lot of things because we know if it's not written, or at least I know if it's not
Mm.
written, I can't necessarily follow it,
Mhm.
right? So some things they would say, "Oh, yeah, you could go ahead and do that," but the laws doesn't say you can. So when I say freedom, I looking for the written aspect of it compared to a man in a position telling me, no, it's fair, you could go ahead. For instance, like the self-defense aspect, right?
Mm.
As a
Mm.
citizen,
Yeah.
we have no legal framework to defend ourselves, right? Whether
Mhm.
it be a pepper spray, if you're able to walk with a pocket knife and these sort of things. But while people do it, you could end up in jail for it if you're caught.
All right. Well, now part of Guyana being part of the international collective means that they've got to sign on to human rights accords, right? You
Hmm.
agree? Now,
Correct.
those human rights accords, which and those organizations, including the UNDP and all of these organizations, are the organizations that support what? Freedom of speech.
Hmm.
All right. So it's not a law that may be written into the provisions like in the US, right? Where it says that um, identifiably that, well, there is the Freedom of Speech Act, right? But
Hmm.
it is known globally because of all these countries linking with the UNDP and all the other organizations that foster freedom of speech, that there is freedom of speech. All
I
right.
would more personally, I would like to see it in writing, so I could
Mm-hmm.
go back and fight and say, well, like in America, I could go and say, based on article whatever,
Mm-hmm.
based on the Constitution, whatever, this
Mm-hmm.
is what I follow. I cannot necessarily do that in Guyana. You understand? And
Mm-hmm.
even in certain other countries, if it's not in black and white, as we know, it don't make sense. It's like because one man could say, but that is not what it is. If you look at different scenarios, right?
Mm-hmm.
I prefer it in writing, brother. It's everything I prefer in black and white. Verbal only stands for so long, and you can only take a man by his word for so long.
Yeah,
You
that's
understand,
true.
man?
That is true. But what I'm saying, how is that verbal? Because what I'm saying, that's international law. Guyana has
Yeah.
signed on to treaties. internationally, which makes it
We
law.
also know Guyana have a problem with implementation and enforcement.
Right. So, okay, that's what I'm saying. Where is the violation of freedom of speech?
So I cannot readily speak on certain things, right? But we know we have gotten threats in certain
Mm,
manners from certain people,
right. Right.
right?
Hmm.
Because we speak out.
Right.
Whether they take it personal or professional, it still
Hmm.
comes to our front door.
Right.
So if now, and I could be wrong,
Mm.
but I would have never personally attacked anybody or said anything to attack anybody,
No, we've just
right?
highlighted a particular issue.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And we would have received threats based on what we said,
Right.
compared to other people who going to say, well, go the extra mile and say certain things in a certain manner, you know, in the intent to cause chaos. We don't do
Hmm.
that.
No. Well,
But
go ahead.
they don't necessarily be ridiculed and pulled up accordingly. No.
Because really and truly, a lot of the people we like see on social media and stuff like that, they're taken as entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're on the entertainment and they're not people who are looked at as, yeah, you're a leader. A lot of the times when serious people have serious discussions, you don't find a lot of people on there because it's a lot of people are not, although they say Guyana has, a lot of people who are educated, a lot of them are not here who understand certain things. And those who are here, they tend to shy away from the whole political scene because of what goes on in there. It's a free for all. It's a gutter and a feces flinging match. That's all it is in Guyana. It's not about real policies, and this is why the PPP has managed to keep their stronghold on the country because of the mudslinging and what I call the feces pelting that happens between those two parties. But one of them doesn't seem to understand that, listen, you got to be tactful with how you're flinging your thing. The people who are talking have got to be very as educated and sometimes even more educated in a certain field than the people who they're being shadow ministers to.
Mm-hmm.
Because these ministers will come out and they will read out things, and the shadow ministers will sit there and they have no real rebuttal. There are no real questions. Everything seems to be very superstition, not superstition, superficial, sorry, and nonsensical.
Mm.
For example, we had the last budget, and this is something we spoke about. We had the Minister of Culture, Youth, and Sport come out, and he was lambasting the opposition about their tenure and during their time and what they did and what they didn't do. In my estimation, I'm wondering I'm looking at it and like nobody on the other side realized that, hey, guy, um, we don't want to hear about this. We want to hear about the budget that was allocated to your ministry and the plans of what is going to be done with that money. That's what we want to hear. We don't want to hear about, oh, when you guys was in there, what did you guys do? Da. That's wasting time. And nobody at the end of his entire long rant stood up to then address that issue, to then say, we didn't get any information on the Ministry of Culture, really. Because the opposition, as far as how it seems, is that they just were holding seats. For real. They're just sitting there. Because we haven't seen their policies. Nobody has seen their policies outside of what seems to be a mimic of the PPP's policies with some sprinkle, some nonsense on top of it. Because at one time, the PNC was totally against the grant, any grants whatsoever. Then, when these grants are successful under this administration, now they're saying, okay, well, no, if we get in there now, we're going to make it 400,000. It's not going to be 100,000. It's going to be 400,000. Then when you do that, there's massive inflation in the country. Again, because they don't understand economics. So how do you have individuals who say, we want to run the country? You don't have a clue of how to run the country because you don't even understand the basics. You run the country into the ground, crash the country's economy, can't pay any debt. So then we're back to square one. Then all the monies that coming in from all our natural resources, including the oil, will then have to be garnished to pay debt. I mean, these guys are insane in terms of the proposals that they come up with. I'm wondering, did they think this out before they mention it, or is it just fly out? They didn't edit. They didn't edit a thing. As far as I'm concerned, they didn't even think about it. They did not think about a lot of these things that they're proposing to people of Guyana. And if people of Guyana really sit down and think about it, and if they don't know, ask people with experience the actual facts and not look at it from a political lens or a skew, then you would understand that the things that these people are talking about don't make sense. They don't come together.
Our people need to readily pay attention to what is going on around them, right? Make sure, well, what is said is what's actually being done, and make sure when people speak in, they speak on the right things. Because at the end of the day, while we care about policies, a lot of people just care about the politics, right? They just care about voting for color instead of for contrast.
But then here was our problem too. Social media remove all the checks and balances, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then we are also going to face the problem of what? Misinformation.
Correct.
We already facing that problem. It has begun. And this is stuff we talked about, well, a couple of months ago, where we said in the lead up to the election, there's going to be tons of misinformation. It done start.
Yep.
Every now and again, somebody's reposting something, fake news, fake news.
Ministry.
I mean, why people even doing that? And then you see by the advent of AI now, people using it, and they ain't too good. They ain't understand how to edit, but they're splicing like hell now, though.
This
A
is
lot of
really,
splicing happening.
that's really various ministry need to step in and take control. I know the government is readily trying to make use of their resources, but they need to do a better job, in my opinion, because they do have all the resources at hand.
Yeah, I mean, they got to get people to kind of deal with a lot of the, not only on and they really have to spend a lot more on what is called traditional media,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I think they need to bring back traditional media, especially in Guyana, because it's in the US. I mean, MSNBC, CNN, and these other networks, they have lost a lot of viewers due to social media.
Yes.
But they have also done a particular thing, which is to regain that traction through joining those two platforms together. You understand? So there is still a measure of credibility in the news area in the US. And I think we need to model we need to model that structure, because what we have now is a shift all away from traditional media into social media, and that's total chaos. That's where the waters of chaos is for real. You know, and we see this more and more each year, because a lot of people, especially if they follow certain social media personalities, they'll only get one side of a particular viewpoint, and it will be skewed. And later on, like a lot of people will say, you know, I was only looking at this, I was looking at this person and trusting that they would give me the real information. No, they're giving you information based on their skewed perspective. So I like to tell people, listen to everybody. Listen, right? Don't judge them. Listen to everybody. And then you will come up with your overall deduction after that. Be critical of everything you hear, because everything you hear ain't real. Everybody got a nice thing for you, as we say in Guyana, a nice soir for you as we come to elections. And again, we're still waiting for those manifestos. Martin, your final words, bro, before we wrap it up.
Well, as always, once you know better, you do better. I know better now in certain areas, especially in Guyana. Development is coming along very nicely, in my opinion. I commend the government for that, right? Growth is a must. Of course, focus a little bit more on the people, right? With their development, their personal development. That way we could all be better for the country at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That is it, brother.
Yeah, I agree with you there totally, bro. I mean, not much more to add to that. We got to wrap up today for today, Monday. You know, Motivational Mondays. Hope you had a great day here with us. Stay glued to the stations with the real vibration. Check us out tomorrow. You know how we do tomorrow, Tantalizing Tuesdays. We got some real interesting topics for the ladies and for the gents. Check us out tomorrow, same time, same stations. Until then, drive safely. We out of here. Love your world. Love you, Guyana.
Whoa, 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 na na na. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Whoa, whoa, no. Timing is everything, and everything in its own timing, yeah. Rastafari is everything. Words on power, manifesting law. Timing is everything, and everything in its own timing, yeah. Rastafari is everything. Words on power, manifesting law. Now is the time for you to wake up and live, yeah. Love is the only way, so wake up and live. Joy and happiness is all that I bring. Words of hope and inspiration I sing. Timing is everything, and everything in its own timing, yeah. Rastafari is everything. Words of power manifesting God. Timing is everything, and everything in its own timing, yeah. Rastafari is everything. Words of power manifesting, yeah. I saw him wash his servant's feet. Wake and conscious mind and defeat. One glorious intention and seat. Head of parliamental deceit. Hey, be mislead and manipulate. Them propagate weed and I spread it. Plant a seed and graduate. Smoke the weed and meditate. Lord, timing is everything. Everything in its own timing, yeah. Rastafari is everything. Words on power, manifesting law. Timing is everything, and everything in its own timing. Oh, Rastafari is everything. Words on power, manifesting Lord. Them doctrine and them dogmas disqualify I. Highly I Selassie, I never deny I. Without beginning and no ending, me see the youth them multiply. Yeah. Make sure you give them knowledge of the mystery and them culture. I'll get full and a popular in pop culture. Tell me have to tell them about them roots and culture. Defend the faith against culture. Pop culture breed and duplicate. Them want money so them fabricate. Hollywood feed them lies and delusions illuminate. I live to last year, I defend the faith. Timing is everything, and everything in its own time. Yeah. Rastafari is everything. Want some power, manifesting, yeah. Timing is everything, and everything in its own time. Oh, Rastafari is everything. Want some power, manifesting, Lord, hey. Timing is everything, and everything in its own time, yeah. Rastafari is everything. Want some power, manifesting, yeah. Rastafari. Yeah, man, majesty, more life and more love, you know? Yeah, man.
Why, fire burn them drugs. Yo, I not DP Records is not lie. Hey, Rasta seed practically, and then me want the proper color. Like everybody popping money, then is bare folly going on in the alley. Rasta seed actually, and then me want the proper color. And them would rather pop a molly than is bare folly going on. For sheer spliff nowadays I just can't bother. Cause some in only rolling up the weed with grabber. Now is all kinds of other things they're putting inside. Talking about it make them bother. So there's no love for them one another. And there's no enough for them mama and them dada. Who in sniffing them a swallow. I not just now follow past me chalwa. Rasta seed practically, and then me want the proper color. Like everybody popping molly, then is bare folly going on in the alley. Rasta seed actually, them don't support the ganja rally. And them would rather pop a molly than is somebody gonna murder. If it's not Molly, then the sugar and the eggs. White rum, cocaine and cigarettes. Sprite with cough, syrup and eggs. It's only Jano with them coming with necks. I know in mashing up the youths them heard. Them excited when a trigger figure press. Said them want see inside of somebody flesh. Them like when people dead. Why? Rasta seed practically. Then me want the proper color. Like everybody popping money, then is bare folly going on in the alley. Rasta seed actually, them don't support the ganja rally. And them would rather pop a molly, then is bare folly going on. Enough youths get caught in the web, but this time youth you need to reflect on yourself and show some respect. Your parents' teachings, don't forget. Mindful of the friends you select. Bad influence that get the check. Anytime, anywhere it get the check. You know we step it, get recheck. Hey, Rasta seed practically, and then me want the proper color. Everybody popping money, then it's bare folly going on in the alley. Rasta seed actually, them don't support the ganja rally. And them would rather pop a molly than yeah, somebody gonna murder. Rasta seed practically, and them me want the color. Everybody popping money, then it's bare folly going on in the alley. Rasta seed actually, and then me want the color. Like everybody popping molly, then it's bare robbery and murder.
Me said the fire of the blaze. Man take offense and them say can't be too dread nowadays. I and I no fear dirty Bobby wrong. See them and them evil us ways. Them corrupted depart from his majesty. Highly I Selassie I we pray. Now
Rastaman policy is peace and love. So burn out the enmity, the hate and the grudge. Grudge because the vendors of the faith don't budge. Because we're born as the warriors of flames and blood. We not go dwell up with the scholars and pigs in mud. Cause anything not right, it get an instant run. Fireball. So wolf coming like a sheep play clown. Don't think like you're wise like the great Solomon.
Instead the fire of the blaze. Woman take offense and them say can't be too dread nowadays. I and I no fear dirty Bobby wrong. See them and them evil us ways. Them corrupted depart from his majesty. Highly I Selassie I we pray. Now just weights and balance. When the earth return to naturality. Why man to man is so unjust a pedigree. As it was, you know it never shall be. Hey, just weights and balance. Judgment I go get you, Mr. Wickedy. In a nuclear, in a fair technology. Man to woman, a life energy. Hey, they said the fire of the blaze. Man take offense and them say can't be too dread nowadays. I and I no fear dirty Bobby wrong. See them and them evil us ways. Them corrupted depart from his majesty. Highly I Selassie I we pray. Now
Jehovah, it's hard to be yourself beyond the wall. Cause nowadays no Rasta preaching Paul. That's why them fire on a stall. Liberty is on a string that's some Paul. I thought them was a real but that's a fall. Like them na yes a Lassie call. Them sit down in a bar with alcohol. Them choose to stoop to conquer, that's a call. Them quick to sell out like a stall. You look the part but really you're a fraud. Don't call yourself a liar, you're a fraud.
They the fire of the blaze. Man take offense and them say can't be too dread nowadays. I and I no fear dirty Bobby wrong. See them and them evil us ways. Them corrupted depart from his majesty. Highly I Selassie I we pray. Now
yeah. We are living in a serious time. Yeah. We have me live a life with me aloe vera. Rice bitters and me no left it too now. Purge out me still better than any obia. No matter how you shouting, you still have to know ya. I'm thankful for everything, Father. You bless me food and natural spring water. I'm aware of man-made disaster. Some of all help me pass them. So me have to sing. No touch it, no trust it, no trust the vaccine. Prince and princess, black king, black queen. No trust it, no trust it, no trust the vaccine. Ugly Babylon system, not clean. No trust it, no trust it, no trust the vaccine. Church and state, them attack team. No touch it, no touch the vaccine. Thief I tell people thou shall not steal. So-called leaders, blood bleeders of the world, trying to control every boy and girl. Oh yeah, the population on them agenda. Everybody feel surrender. Honestly, me not trust them, and me now put no stop up on me nostril. Me a say, no trust it, no trust it, no trust the vaccine. Prince and princess, black king, black queen. No trust it, no trust it, no trust the vaccine. Ugly Babylon system, not clean. no trust the vaccine. Them a promote lesbianism and drag queen. No trust the vaccine. Me tell the whole of Maxfield. Me not sell myself for travel. Some gone and I tell you said them have you. Should them fly out every weekend, go on like them decent. When you check it out, them a wobble. Boy, depends on what they would encourage. If you want to know, you got to seek knowledge. Say no to vaccine, all when them keep coming. Kunta Kenta keep running. COVID done him. Some me say, no touch it, no trust the vaccine. Prince and princess, black king, black queen. No trust the vaccine. Ugly Babylon system, not clean. No trust the vaccine. Church and state, them attack team. No trust the vaccine. If I tell people thou shall not steal. Me I tell you say you have to all your focus. Yeah. Oh yes, you cannot live your life bogus. Educate yourself, then step up. So you not go get wet up. Open up your mouth, them say shit up. Babylon, I step up and I take up. So not trust the vaccine. No. Black king, black queen, not trust the vaccine. Ugly Babylon system not clean. Not trust the vaccine. Overstand what I mean. Not trust it.